And then I'm going to move, there's a couple of ways I can do this, but we'll do it the hard way. We're going to move that sediment output file to so we're going to take that sediment output and we're going to call that G1C for G1 carbon underscore round 1. Yeah, okay. Okay. So we did temperature. Let's do salt. Is everybody ready to go? Okay, so in Linux, if you type the up arrow, you'll gradually move backwards through commands you've already executed. So type the up arrow about 4 times and you'll get back to read snap file. And let's roll. What variable? This time we're going to do variable 2. Take my word for it, 2 is salinity. So we'll enter variable 2. What sediment variable? We're going to do variable, oh, I'm glad I saw this. We're going to do variable 7 for the sediment. In the variable 7 is G2 carbon. I'm glad I looked because I almost did 5. But anyway, we got 7. We roll. Okay, so we now got brand new read snap file WQOPT, right? And the set OPT. Again, in the spirit of the up arrow key, let's hit the up arrow until we get back our command, move read snap file WQOPT. You hit that about 4 times. Fair enough? And we're going to take our cursor and we're going to go to here, the underscore, and we're going to backspace. Okay? And then we're going to type in salt, because what we've done is variable 2 is salinity. Enter. Let's hit the up arrow. And this was our previous, this was where we saved the G1 carbon command. So we're going to move our cursor to here, to the C. We're going to backspace, and we're going to type a 2. So now we've extracted temperature and salinity, G1 and G2 carbon, and we've saved them so we don't make a mistake and write over them. Who knows what we're going to do next? Come on, group, you know. Okay, let's go back to the read. Let's go back to our read snap file. Let's do it again. What are we going to do this time? Okay. So I'm going to enter, I'm going to execute it. What variable? This time, let's do 27. 27 is dissolved oxygen. So let's look at the dissolved oxygen. Okay. What sediment variable? 10. Variable 10 is the G3 carbon in the sediments. And we let her rip. All right, this time we really know. Lisa, what are we going to do now?
Rename the file.
There you go. Give that girl a Hershey bar, you know. Okay, so we're going to up click a little bit. We're going to get to our move command. We're going to backspace to the underscore, go back, and we're going to type in DO, dissolved oxygen. And similarly, we're going to go to the set output. We're going to backspace, and we're going to type in a 3. Oops, don't do that. Type in a 3. Now, if you don't like backspacing and up arrowing, you know, you're perfectly free to type all these commands in from scratch. There's no problem at all. You know, you can do that if you want to. So what do we got now? We got G1, G2, G3 carbon. We got DO. We've got salt. We've got temperature. Do we want to do any more? What the heck? Excuse me?
NH4, we haven't do NH4.
Yeah, I'm pondering if we want to do that in the classroom or not. What the hell? We got a request to do ammonium. So last one, let's read that snapshot file. And in the water column, ammonium is variable 13. And I'm going to step out of the camera for a moment, and I'm going to check my variable list over here if my computer didn't time me out, which it did. Okay, in the sediments, ammonium is number, whoops. Oh, by coincidence, it's number 13. Wonderful, okay. So for the sediment, let's type in 13.
I'm sorry, what was the water column?
13. By coincidence, it's 13 in both cases.
Mine is fucked up.
Okay.
Got it. Big lag.
Okay, so now we're going to do our move one more time. So now we're going to up arrow, bring this back. We're going to backspace over DO, and we're going to type NH4 for ammonium. Okay. And when we get to the backspace, let's do the sediment. And we're going to type, in order to distinguish this from the other one, let's type sed underscore NH4. So that's the sediment ammonium.
Layer 2, I presume.
Yeah. I believe it. I think it's layer 2. We'll stop there.
I don't want layer 1.
Okay, so if we've done this right, all of our round ones should have a July 24 day, and it's looking, you know, I think it's looking good. So now, all right, now what we've got to do is we're going to bring this down to a place where we can work on it, which is our laptops for most of us. Now what I've done, I've created on this computer, with help, a folder called Exercise 1. You know, you have to, if I were you, I'd create a folder called Exercise 1 on my PC so I can bring all this stuff down and keep it organized. I hope, if you don't, put it in your home directory, or you can put it on, or put them all on the desktop, which is what Richard did. It doesn't matter, but for me, I'm going to put them all on something called Exercise 1. And we're going to go back to our FileZilla. If I'm going too fast, stop me. Now, does everybody remember how to exercise, what you have to type into FileZilla? If you don't, stop, because we'll go over it. Dom, oh, well, you don't need FileZilla because it's on your PC anyway.
It's under exercise 1 outputs.
Excuse me?
Exercise 1, where is it? Exercise 1 outputs?
Well, exercise 1 outputs.
No, it's exercise 1.
Exercise 1. You want to see the names?
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, so if you go up to, if you use FileZilla to go up to this cloud, it's going to put you in your home directory. So the first thing you need to do is to type on the, click on 30 box over here, because you're probably working with something called 30 box.
I got it.
Okay. And similarly, just keep clicking till you get to where, I'm a little bit different than you. After 30 box, you should have something called exercise 1. So you want to get into that one. And over here on the left, you want to be in whatever directory on your PC you want to bring this stuff down. So what we're going to do, everybody's here before we move on. We're in FileZilla, we got the right folders. Dom, you just have to, copy it or move it or anything you want to do. What I'm going to do is, I think this works, put your left hand on the control button. And you should be able to click on the files that you want to bring down. I clicked on that many. Those are all the round 1 files. And then I take my finger off the control button. I arrow down a little bit and I find 2 more. So I put my finger on the control button and I click on those. And I think that'll do me. Now, if I did this right, I just put my cursor over here on any one of these files. I click the left-hand button and I drag it over here. And through the magic of FileZilla, we have now transferred those files to our PC. Okay, everybody there? Okay. Okay, so now we're going to switch operations over to the PC. Aha. Okay, so there are our, now, finally, so we've extracted from the model something we can work with, and now we're going to actually visualize. So let's, I think everybody has Excel. I hope you have Excel. If you don't, maybe you have some other simpler plot program, but I'm going to open up Excel. And what the heck is this, right? Open other workbooks. This is a different version than I have. Computer. Browse. I wonder what version of Excel this is, but anyway, if you get, so in Excel, whatever version you're using, navigate to that folder where you brought all that stuff from round 1 down. Okay. And you may not see anything because it's looking for Excel files, so we have this magical thing down there in the lower right, and we're going to type all files. Okay? Everybody's with me? Okay. Let's look at, all right, let's look at temperature. We type open. There's a lot of crap here because we're trying to open a file which isn't an Excel file, and I'm just going to go next, next, finish. Bang. Okay. Everybody? Okay, so let's look. Box 5 is right smack in the surface layer in the middle of the bay. So let's click on JDay. Remember the control button. Put that middle finger on the control. Box 5. Insert chart. Yeah, this is a different version of Excel, but hey, we can dope it out. Let's do a scatter plot. Bang. You know, we could fancy this plot up a lot. For the moment, we won't do it. But there's a time series plot. There's the computed temperature, a 10-year time series of temperature. A 10-year time series of temperature in the surface in the middle of the bay. That the x-axis down here is days. I'm not going to mess with it because I don't really understand what's going on. But in any event, that's days. The take-home message is this. We started the model uniformly at 20 degrees. Just cranked it up. And what you see is these are days. So 1 year is about here. It's 365 days. You see that in the space of a year, temperature is achieved steady state. So if you spin up from any uniform initial condition and you want to equilibrate temperature, you need to run the model about a year. After that, you've achieved a steady state, if you will. Okay. Oh man, don't do this to me. Computer.
Yeah.
But why is it not trying to open the current folder? That's what I want. Okay. So let's we've looked at temperature. Let's go to salinity. And again, depending on what version of Excel you might have, navigate to where you're ready to open this salt round 1 file. Everybody? Okay. Let's open it. And once again, I'm just going to go next, next, finish.